keep switching off all the time. So, fine. Right, okay.
Yeah, fine.
Okay, fine, Ravi. So, good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here tonight. I really appreciate the time and effort that you have all taken. I understand that all the commitments that we have. I am here tonight to that kindly I was invited by Juan and Sylvia who invited me to do this talk and this conversation. And my main purpose really is to introduce, well, you know the product, but to help you understand how these two hero products, which I call this one, I call like the magic oil, and this is like the happy pill, how they can help transform people's lives as well, but also how can we make such a conversation in a very easy way to connect with people, with anybody, anywhere, in a bus stop, and suddenly maybe turn it into a sale. So, and the only reason I'm doing that is because I've tried this with my own clients, and they come to me for the need to help them with anxiety, depression, marriage problems, all kinds of problems. And when I realized they are taking so many tablets and a lot of medication, it just, I cannot hack it really. I just don't understand, and I'm trying, I cannot say don't take it because I'm not a doctor. Also, the doctor is giving it to them, so how do you do? So I said, look, why don't you try to maybe something else? Try this or try that. And people are changing, people are finding the difference. So I thought, well, this is a way probably of getting it out there in a different way. So we can help ourselves by selling the product because we are selling a service, but at the same time we can help others by providing them with a beautiful 100% natural product with the original recipes and formulas from China and all these ancient medicines which are incredibly therapeutic and healing. Okay? So my name is Nidya Caro. I am a neurotherapist, I am a coach, a mentor, and also I have a podcast which is called NeuroReinvent. And I'm very glad to be able to share whatever information I have in the short period of time that we have. And anything that you need, I'm here to help. Okay, so let's see if this technology is going to function well. Right, okay. I am also a proud member of Tiens, and most proud member of Tiens, and most probably you are wondering why Tiens. Okay, so I'll tell you about it. I've been in business for many years. I started my business, my professional career in fashion and beauty. I had fashion shops in Mill Hill. I have 3 shops in Mill Hill. Probably you know them if you lived in the Hill, and in other areas of North London. And also I've been along with property, and back in the day I've done new skin and muscular marketing, which I loved, and I've done very well with it. But obviously, you know, I have to concentrate on certain things when you do too many things at the same time. I've always believed in multiple streams of income. I'm glad I did, and I do today. And I really try. I've got 2 children, they are 32 and 30, and I tell them, my God, don't just stick to your jobs. For goodness sake, it's about time you do something else. If I did it, why can't you do it? They don't have time, but they just want to do one thing. And it's very important because, you know, one day is sunny, one day is rainy. And when that rainy day comes, it's very sad. I am of a certain age, and I'm sure you know. But and I find it sad that a lot of my friends that are my age, and they were quite well off, and we were all living the high life at some point, and today, you know, they feel like depleted that they might not have enough. But then they will always got stuck with one thing, doing one thing. I didn't. I always had a cushion. I had a mattress and a mattress cover, and I'm delighted I did. So I'm sure you guys working in this industry know how to do that. Okay. So I work with obviously high-level clients and a lot of elite I do a lot of elite mentorship. And over the years, I employed many people. I employ hundreds of people, but it's imagine 25 years with 6 boutiques and a wholesale business in Europe. You can imagine the volume of people changing all the time. And throughout the time, I learned one thing, or I discovered one emotional pattern, which is mind blocks, sales resistance, and emotional breakdown. And this was across. I always employed people from 18 to whatever. As long as they could sell, it didn't really matter to me. But they all had the same problem. So, and that was hard because my job was to sell targets, do sell. I want X amount of money per week and push for sales. But I couldn't understand really all these problems. And I wish I did at the time, but then if I did, probably I would not have been able to run a business because I would have put my emotions first. So, everything at the time. Right, so why I joined Tiens? The reason I joined Tiens is simple. It's because now I sold my business, and then of course I decided that I got bored with nothing, so I had to restart something. But I wanted something that I didn't have to employ a lot of people. I said if I employ one or two is fine. So Sebastian is one. He did that with the computer, he did the presentation and things like that. And I'm happy with that because the rest is in my head and my books and my studies and everything, okay? And people come to me for all sorts of problems, like depression, anxiety, all kinds of things, marriage problems, money problems. The first is money problems. And that's fine, that's absolutely fine. If there is a money problem, it comes from a problem. Doesn't mean because I'm poor and I don't have and you have. No, there is a reason, there is a problem. It comes from a problem from the past, which has to be looked into and it has to be sorted and it has to be unblocked. There is a blockage somewhere. It's like when you guys, we have a chain and you have the downline and there is a blockage somewhere. So if not everyone is producing, or 80% at least in the downline, 80% should be producing. If 20% is dormant, give them a break and restart them again. Yeah? Like start cage, and just give it a break and go back to it. But it's very important to get that sorted because it's a business. It's just we have to change the strategy. At the end of the day, it's a business. So with all this, I found out that everyone was on medication. I really, truly had no idea what was the name of this medication. So I had to learn and I had to say, I said, what is all this? When I looked into it, they were all poisons, really. I mean, it's a miracle that these people are still alive. They are fully addicted to it. We complain people are addicted to drugs and to dope and to all these things. But what about the rest of the humanity addicted to medication? That's another problem. That's humongous. So I couldn't really think straight, and I thought, how can I help without interfering with the doctors? Because I mean, again, it's another problem. So I came across to Juan, and I, we go back a long time. When I had my business in fashion, the warehouses of Tiens and the distribution warehouses are in the same place where I had my distribution business. So we met each other, pulling boxes, and China in, China out, day in, day out. So that's how I met Juan. And one day he called me and he said, I've seen you in this podcast and that, tell me about it, let's have a coffee. So I said, okay. And we met and I told him what I was doing. So that's how I ended up in Tiens. When he told me about, and he said, well, he knows very well his business, of course. So when he told me, yeah, I've got something for you, I said, tell me. And he told me about this too, that was it. So I started suggesting it to my clients and to take them, to make them more relaxed, to wind down a little bit. And they have had some great results. So then I decided I'm going to join because the only way I can buy this as well for me is joining. It's a catch-22. And I'm very happy. So that is why I am with Tiens and I intend to continue. So there you are, back to square one, things come in circles. Right, so I want to talk a little bit about the power of breathing. And this probably is one of the most, if you're not going to take anything from today's conversation, please do take this with you, because this is life or death, honestly. So, power of breathing. Breathing is the bridge between the body and the spirit. And the spirit is God, higher wisdom, higher power, me, you, whatever we call it. That's the connection. And that connects us with the sixth sense that we all have. And that's where all the clarity, the mental clarity comes, is from the above. It's from above. It doesn't come from parallel, comes from up there, from the universe really. But it comes when we are in a state of calm and in a state of the now. And then are the two C's connected. Let's call it channel, so we can remember, okay? The two C's of channel. Connection and clarity. Very important. When we connect with the two C's of channel, we connect with the higher wisdom and we connect with clarity, mental clarity. But for that, what we have to do? We have to learn how to breathe. And breathe properly. By breathing in, we bring air into the body. We bring life to our body and to our life. And we bring in life. When we breathe out all the tensions of the body, all the blockages, all the stress, everything. And what happens as a result? We oxygenate those 300, hopefully, but even if you oxygenate 10 trillion cells, we have 30 to 40 trillion. If we oxygenate the majority of our cells, then the body is in full working mode. And that this is the most powerful I've ever seen. And let me tell you something. My son works for Vitibiotics. He is the digital marketing manager. He's been there for 6 years, and I told him 6 years. They sell all this, they sell all that, they sell everything. I mean, Vitibiotics is in every corner, every bus, every bus stop, everywhere. And my son. And I was telling him last night, so I was coming to the presentation, and I said, "Oh, mother, you traitor." Mother, you traitor. And I said, "Christian, I mean, it is the free world. I'm comparing one product with another. I'm comparing this with your oils. I'm comparing this with that, and I like this, and it's a fact, and it's true." And this, so that's so the breathing of this. So if we do, for instance, that connection, we put it the way that I taught how to do it in here, and we breathe. I'm gonna give you a meditation later, money making meditation. Here's the body, here's the body, and feed the pocket.
Yeah.
Okay, so we put it. I do it every morning. I've never meditated in my life. Never. I wasn't interested. Jump out, get dizzy, and into the car. Because I always was like, no, now I learn that I have to take it easy. So, do it in the morning, breathe in, and I do it 3-4 times. My God, it gives me such a clarity. This is a powerful weapon. It really opens all the channels. And I don't know, the day goes incredible. I work, it gives me clarity, I create things. When I do the podcast, that's the first thing. Creativity, I have to create the raw material. Really, I cannot recommend it enough, guys. We should start with ourselves. And once we know how this works, we can pass it on and sell it to other people. I'll give you a few tips in a bit. Okay. So we will back into the moment of the double C, the channel double C, okay? Clarity, connection, confidence. Now, we cannot, when we are in that moment, the now, that moment, that epiphany moment of connection is the moment of creation. That is where we can create things. At that moment is when everything that is created in the world is done. And the big big, super people and geniuses is at that moment that creation happens. We cannot create from the past or from the future. We can only create from the moment of clarity and that instant moment. And what we do, we are creating a future. That is important to understand. But no, because we love being in the past to torture ourselves. And I'll tell you what's going to happen later if we continue torturing ourselves because it's all here. And then, and in the future, we can't. We can only create and manifest that future when we are in the now. And the now, if this cannot help you to be in the now or force you or give you that clarity, I haven't seen anything else that can actually put me in that moment of clarity because my mind goes A, B, C, and I really multitask it in my head. So I get quite distracted. It takes me a lot of time to concentrate, to be able to be like in that moment of focusing. And this is that. So that's why I recommend it really. Okay. So that's pretty much about breathing. And then we're going to talk a little bit about how to do, well, let's talk about it now really. So what does this is what I'm saying is pretty much what my intake from everything to do from my client's point of view, from my professional point of view, and my experience with the product in a professional way, which I'm passing to you guys. So what does this do? Really, truly, this calms the nervous system in seconds. It's like a brake. It's a handbrake. It stops it. And if you are like in a panic mode, take it. You know, let's avoid that minute of panic that I was talking about. 1 minute takes 8 hours. Because if we do that, we center ourselves, it might take, because there is a shock in the system, it might take a couple of hours, but not 8 hours. So this really calms the nervous system in seconds. It gives clarity. It's good for stress relief. It unblocks mental fog. How many people nowadays suffer from mental fog? The statistics say probably about 10%, but that's the statistics. But in reality, we are over a lot of foggy now, especially nowadays. And because we just confused and so many things. Also, there have been many solar flares and a lot of lunar eclipses and a lot of things that in the earth have been opening. So we are against the current, not just us. It's not something that is happening because it's happening. It's things outside of our control that is happening out there in the universe, in Earth, Mother Gaia, really. It's a lot of it happening, and the impact, we suffer the impact, really. So that is what I find with this, which is breathing element. Now, what happens when we have foggy thinking, panic, emotional tension? Example, which is something that can happen on a daily basis. These are survival patterns which are triggered by rejection. Now the past comes into play. Now we have to think of the past. This is when we have to think of the past. It comes because rejection is all connected. Fear of failure, which causes frustration. I spoke to the client I called and she didn't buy, or she's this and that or whatever. She got money, they have money, or she said it's too expensive. And then suddenly you feel that fear that you don't want to try it again the next time. You don't want to give it a go because you've been rejected. And that rejection is connected to something that happened in the past that reminds you of a memory that happened back in the day when you were probably 6, 7, 10 years old, especially between 1 and 7 years old. And that's the first, when the whole map is created. And the second stage, 7 to 14. So all this, the pressure to perform, and then say, I tried, but I really didn't. It happens a lot with the young adults. I tried, I did my best. Marriage couples, I did my best. Really, did we try enough? Maybe not. I'm in the bucket, in that bucket. Because my marriage ended because there were too many things to do. but also I didn't get help. So it's important to understand all these things to help ourselves first, and then we can pass it on to the next person, really. So in reality, that brings us back to the now. So if there is something, little bottle to put in our purse or in our pocket, this is the one that brings us to the now, to this moment. So I carry my lipstick, cannot fail. I have to carry it everywhere, and this one as well. Okay? Okay, so now we talked a bit about scent element. Breathing element. Now let's talk about this other one. This, I call it the magic potion, and this I call the happy pill. Mm-hmm. Okay? Why? Because I thought, okay, I'm happy with this one. That's fine. That's okay. That's whatever. Then my mother, she lives back in Colombia. I'm originally from Colombia, and I don't really see her often because she's old, she's 85. So she came back a few months ago, and she's 85 and she's got issues. And I started discovering that she was feeling low and energy, lack of sleep, and all these things. And I didn't really know what to do. Do I do therapy to my 85-year-old mother? Not really. You can, but so I thought, and then more medicine and more pills and everything. So one day I was there. Then I said, let me give her this one. So I started giving to her, and I said, Mother, this is fantastic for your hair. It's going to make your hair grow. Okay, so for your hair, mommy, and this is a fantastic. This is the latest. Take it. Oh, okay. Otherwise, she says no. So I said, hair care. Okay. 2 weeks, honestly, her sleep was better. Her mood, she was in a rotten mood. Oh, it was impossible. Her mood improved. She was always angry, frustrated, even her aches and pains. But I suppose when you are angry, you attract more of the same. If you're attracted to pain, you attract more of, and there's nothing wrong with her really, apart from a bit of thyroid and a bit of cholesterol and things like that. So her life really has improved tremendously. She's still here. And my sister was telling me yesterday, my sister doesn't believe in this, by the way, because I said she thinks, because I made a mistake of telling her I came across this product, which is amazing for anxiety and depression. Because I said that, went into her head, and she said, my mother is not depressed. I said, okay, fine, yeah. I said, this is a new one for the hair. So I'm not saying that we have to go and say that, but it's no point in mentioning those words, because we all suffer from anxiety. We all, at some point of the time, we do have a bit of depression. It's normal. It's part of the emotions. There's nothing wrong with it. It's okay to feel low sometimes. It's fine to feel low sometimes. But those words are not good. That they don't sound good.
It's a stigma too.
It's a stigma. Exactly. So anyway, so with that is a way to put it to people. So can you imagine, for instance, okay, let me talk about this something first. So what happens in the body? So the emotions and the emotion. So the emotions is picked through symptoms. And this is factual, this is science, this is not me saying. Every emotion represents into an illness sooner or later. In the beginning, it's just an emotion. It's that initial shock that we have. The more it happens, it starts building up. So, for example, chronic fear. Someone comes and says, well, what is it that you want? So, I have fear. I'm fear. Fear of what? Fear of death. Fear of losing my job. Have you been told that something is wrong? Oh, no, I'm doing very well. I will go to a race, but I have a fear. You see? And all that is unconscious, and that is normal to feel. It's not normal to feel like that, but if that person says you have that, it's great to acknowledge it, because at least it's trying to do something about it. Because if we have the fear that we're going to lose our job, we will definitely lose our job. Yeah. 1,000,000%, 100%, because this is the connection. Again comes to another channel C, connection. So the fear is connected to that anxiety. The anxiety is connected to that fear, whatever happened between 0 to 14 years old, something that happened and gave us a shock. And then what happens? Inflammation in the body, anxiety, PTSD, thyroid problems. This is a chronic fear. Thyroid problems, fibromyalgia, which is a very common problem, heart disease, asthma, addictions, you name it, all that. So what happens now, example, with anger and resentment? We said, did something, my ex-husband or my this or whatever, and forget, but I don't forgive. Well, let me tell you, give yourself a couple of hours, or 24 hours, and try to forgive, and bring yourself to the, take plenty of this, breathe, connect, and bring yourself to the now, and forgive yourself, forgive the situation, and forget about it. It doesn't matter what it is. Just deal with the solution for the future. Why? Because that resentment, the feeling of resentment and anger, is one of the hardest to get rid of, and is one of the worst that can cause problems in our body. Circulation problems, chronic stress, depression and anxiety comes from anger and resentment. Okay? Relationship problems, digestive issues, insomnia, lack of sleep. I normally ask my clients when at some point during the session I say, tell me what keeps you awake at night. And they say, and usually it's, you know, my father never calls me. I'm talking to a 35 years old guy. And why? Because the little boy is hurt. Maybe the father never gave him attention. And to this day, and I'm talking to a successful businessman or a successful banker, and that man, 35 years old, wants his father to call him sometime because he's been abandoned in the past. Maybe the father was a banker as well. Maybe he was busy traveling. Maybe the boy was abandoned in private school. This happens a lot of boarding school boys, especially men with boarding school. They have that kind of situation. So that's another issue that causes a lot. So, for instance, guilt and shame. That's another one of the big four major ones. Self-sabotage, imposter syndrome, strained relationships, and again, anxiety, depression, perfectionism, all these kind of situations. And then the other one that we have is like this deep sadness that we feel like, you know, we wake up and we say, and we feel like there is something missing, but you have everything, a beautiful home, a husband or a wife, children, everything is fine, mortgage is okay, your home is okay, but there is something there that you don't know where it comes from. It's a sadness inside that prevents us from enjoying life fully. And that what does it give us? Low vitality, low energy, we cannot move, we cannot do anything, lack of self-esteem, and this comes from all this family of the horrible, they are the fabulous four and the horrible four, I call them, okay? So now that we finish, I want to finish a little bit, not everything is dark, okay, but it's good to understand this, okay? So, let's move a little bit into neuroscience and how all these things and what people are buying. Nowadays, I'm happy to share the presentation with everyone.
Yes.
I'm happy
Yes, I have the presentation, so
Sebastian, and then tomorrow we can email the presentation if you agree and it's okay.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, fine. So we'll share the presentation. I will send it to you tomorrow, guys. Yeah. Okay. So nowadays people are suffering tremendously inside. Oh, I'm glad I cannot hear things like the guy in that movie that could hear everyone talking. because really every internal world is really sad that people are going through such a turmoil in life. So clients are now emotionally overwhelmed with so many things, over information, over products, everything. People is not that they don't have money. People are not buying things. People are buying emotions. What touches them? Everything has changed. The whole thing has changed. And because that has changed, the selling pattern has to change. We have to approach the sales from a different point of view. I've been in sales all my life. I sold skirt and trousers, thousands and thousands and thousands. In my wholesale business, I used to sell 13,000 units a week. I used to send to Europe. That's a lot. That's a lot of units. So, but let me tell you, people are buying now emotion. Okay, when you buy a top, you say, I need it. But nowadays people are saying, do I need it? No, I don't need it. People are not spending the same money. That's why the shops are not doing the same as used to be. People are more conscious. But people are spending. There are statistics. People are spending on things and paying more premium money for products that they touches them, that it gives them that emotional aspect. So imagine all this anxiety, insomnia, brain fog, chronic fatigue, depression, whatever, all this is rooted back in childhood, come from, I call it rahit, which is the 5 main emotional wounds that we have when we are a child, when we were young, which is rejection, abandonment, humiliation, injustice, and trauma. And all these emotions, all these negative emotions, they come from there. So, but for every sad story, there is a happy story. So this is a great opportunity now. This is the best time now to introduce, or if you're introducing it, to approach it from a different point of view. I was the other day, I went to a dinner. My friend, she was telling me off because I started talking about this. But I went to a dinner and I said, hi, how are you? And whatever this lady I haven't seen for a long time. Okay, Nidya, how you doing? I'm okay, blah, 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 all this. And then, how are you? Yes, no good, no. What happened? I cannot sleep. Why? My husband, since my husband died, I said, how long was that? 4 years. Okay. And this and blah, blah, whatever, and I cannot. And anyway. And I was saying, have you tried this? And all this kind of thing. Well, let me tell you, it happened that it's not to sleep. As it happens is that she actually suffered from a lot of anxiety. Because she's on her own and that, and she feels depressed and all that. So I told her to try this. And I gave her a pack of that I had, and I said, and she said, Nita, we're gonna buy that. I really like that. I said, what does it do for you? I said, exactly, tell me. And she said, do you know what? It makes me chill. That's fine. Chill is fine. I mean, that's what it is. So if that is a chill pill, that's what it needs because it calms the mind. So it's a great opportunity to listen, to connect with people because this downline, this multi-level marketing is about connecting with people, talking to people, and listening to that. Out of 20 people, maybe one is going to tell you, I've done amazing, fantastic, this, blah, 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 but something. There is always a but. So you listen to the good story and you wait for the but. And in the but, I guarantee you that one of these two is needed. And if one of them is not needed and you're doing amazing, I said, you know what? I really like to hear such a good story, but I've got something which is more powerful and gives you even more clarity and you can make more money. And that's one. When people buy this, they get addicted to it because it becomes part of your daily routine. Yes, exactly. So that's something that is important to perhaps you to rearrange or to see how these things can help. Excuse me, I think I lost my because let's see, I was prepared for that, not for that. Okay. So this helps from the neuro programming and mental bioprogramming because what I do is I help people to reprogram. I don't want people to change the past. You cannot erase the past, but you can reprogram the past. It means it's like a movie, and you write a new story on top of that movie. So you create a new kind of reality, really. So, in short, really, what do? They help to achieve like the inner chemistry, with like a new kind of, they get accustomed to a new kind of, oh, I feel better, I feel different, is what we say. I feel different. That's good, that's a change. The brain is more open to rewiring, to creation, to do things. My mother now started walking. She thought she was handicapped. She thought she couldn't walk because she had a couple of accidents and she was scared to walk, but she can walk, but at least she's trying. It helps with emotional blockages that can be released more easily. And also it opens the mind to new kind of healing, to new kind of alternative things. That in itself is you're helping to transform people, really, which is great. Apart from that, you get like inner peace, optimism, a happier life, really, which is amazing. Now, from the neuroscience point of view, we have another little formula. So we were saying that breathing is the connection between the body and the spirit, okay? So now, when it comes to sales, we have to sell from and through the emotion. We pick on the emotion to sell. And we use the emotion to get to the sale. By what? By connecting with that person, by understanding, because that's what touches them. And that is not manipulation, for goodness sake, because you are offering a solution, an alternative solution. And sales, a lot of people, I give seminars in sales or people who are salespeople and that. And a lot of this is the fear of selling or that mainly fear of selling, that at some point we develop, or lack of steam, of energy to sell and that. So we have to align. So there is, I call it the 30 centimeter formula. So this is the brain. The brain is to think. The problem comes to, so because everything is a problem, really. Well, what are we talking about problems? Because when things are happening, no one wants to do anything. People just want to go on holiday, really. So the problem comes into the brain. And then what happens next? Immediately, it goes to the heart, because the emotion, I love you, I hate you, or this, or you do this, or whatever the situation will happen, whatever it is, or the letter you receive, it comes in, oh my God, look, this is what happened. So that, because you read, it goes into the brain. Straight away, you feel it where? In your chest. So the connection is with your heart. And then who makes the decision to solve the problem? This or this?
Heart. Always.
Yes.
No heart.
No, brain.
No.
Together.
With both. The decision is made, not even the heart. The emotion that we feel, we feel angry, frustrated, fuming, whatever it is, and we overreact, what we do? We send the message to the brain, and the decision is explode, bad decision, shouting, falling out, drama, whatever. If we calm and we maybe sit on the problem and go and have breakfast, go for a walk, breathe, and use the double channel C's for connection, get information from the higher wisdom, and think, the information comes from above into the brain, and the brain makes the correct decision, because we have always the preference. So can you imagine how powerful and how we actually sabotage our own lives?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what does it happen in return? If we make the good decision, great. We have a happy life, happy pockets, we do our businesses, we make the right decision. But if we do the wrong decision, which a lot of the times we tend to do, what happens? We get blocked straight away. Excuse me, sorry. We get blocked. And as soon as we get blocked, then we get frustrated. And then the frustration, what happens? We cannot do anything because we cannot act from the frustration mode. And then we cannot sell, we cannot go out, we cannot connect, we cannot this. And then what happens? Our bank account suffers because we cannot perform. And it happens that we are doing a business. We are not here in the business, we are not in the business of selling emotions and problems. We are in the business of selling a solution to a problem. So that is something to think about. Okay, I won't keep you much longer, it's coming to an end. So, what is, in my humble opinion, and should be done, especially for multi-level leaders like yourselves? You are offering, as you have to think, you are often, you're saying that you're still learning about the product. Go out and sell it. Start with this tool. You have enough information with this tool, send your presentation, get out, learn that one, and start with this tool. I can guarantee you that you start selling this straight away. And when you sell this, you go and sell them a filter, I don't know, to sell a product, whatever product that, but you open the doors with this little bottle and with this, and the whole abracadabra will open for you guys. Sometimes, we always have in a business, and I'm sure all of you have been in business for many years, but there is always a hero product. I remember in my fashion, people used to always ask me, what's your bestseller? Especially my competition. What's your bestseller? And I said, if I told you about my bestseller, probably would laugh. My bestseller were these vest tops, because they were basics. Do you make money with basics? No. Because they are basics, everyday products, really. So probably make a couple of pounds. But every time they bought a vest top, I sold them their trousers, their shirt, their this, their that, to go along with it. Yes.
Like when you go to the shoe shop, they will just leave it on it.
Yeah, because it becomes the whole spirit. When I did the online business with Groupon, what is your bestseller? They used to take us, Groupon is an American company, they used to take us to Chicago, to France, to all these European countries, all these big seminars, all these American big kind of hundreds of people, and we were all like really, there was big business going on for everyone. With 90% men and maybe 95 and 5% women. So they used to come to me because I was quite strong in the business, and they used to come, what's your bestseller? And I said, well, if I told you, you would cry. Again, my bestseller was some kind of, was a slimming bodysuit. It wasn't this beautiful fashion that was chosen, it was a slimming bodysuit. Why do you think the slimming bodysuit? I invested, and I tell you this story so you remember this, I invested £4,000 in some bodysuits, which I couldn't sell. It was called, oh God, I never remember. Wow. Yeah, I called it was a corset. It was a slimming bodysuit into a corset. And it was called breathing corset. I don't know why I called it like that. It's incredible because it's called breathing. It was called breathing corset. And I only, because I started with very small money at the time, and I only sold 40. Oh my God, and I had about 10,000 of those. I panicked because if you sell 40, what do I do with the rest? So I had a young assistant and we used to do all this, and I said, listen, we're gonna remarket this. Straight away, change that, make that woman very skinny like that, like a Kardashian, make it like that, and call it magic corset. And change and chop off the head and get another head from another model and put it on and tomorrow, because it was all images there, and put it there, and we're gonna relaunch it, and I'm gonna tell the buyer another color that is a new product. She won't even know. told the buyer, oh, Nidya, really? Oh my God, I've read on the Times about it. I rented in Vogue about it. I said, fine. Sold out. Sold out. It was the same animal with a different name. So it's the way of selling. It's a complete. So strategy is nothing wrong with changing strategy. So when I say people, I say I'm very happy pill for you. What do you mean? I said, don't worry, it's not dope, not marijuana. It's and that so people and that is so the products that was selling, my best selling product was a slimming product. Why? Because it made people look slim, because it went through the emotion. You see? And that was a long time ago. So can you imagine today when it's a lot more knowledge about all this and these products are available? So just to give you an example of my breathing corset and the breathing element, which what a coincidence really. So really my invitation to you guys is that use your products daily. Really, you need to start with yourself. Once you know the way like I know now, then you will be able to talk with confidence. Keep it for yourself and try and see and use all the things. And then practice neurosales. Go online, learn about it. A lot of material, neurosales. Become familiar with that. And don't feel guilty of selling. You are offering a service. It's a service we are offering. And not only that, we are offering a transformation, a solution to a problem. You must build, I'm sure you do, but if you don't have, build your personal brand. I really, really cannot emphasize enough. There are plenty of tools out there in Canva and many things to create your name, your logo, whatever. Just make a little logo, something that looks really nice and different or something, and create your own brand. That gives you an identity, which is quite good. That's very important nowadays. People look at that. I didn't think it was important, but it is. And more importantly than all, you have to reignite. And before going out there to talk to people, you need to look at your downline. Look at your tree and see how healthy this tree is. What's happening to the different levels? Who is active, who's not active? Get the spreadsheet, start calling. I call it the amigo call, all amigo, like the Mexicans in the movie. The amigo call, chat with them, see how can I help you, what can I do for you, what's happening to you, oh no, how can I help you? Give them what you learn, pass it on to them. People like that. It's just that we have lost the connection. We got used to WhatsApping, not even emailing anymore, it's WhatsApping and Instagram. Do I really want to connect with someone on Instagram? To go and chat on Instagram? No. Do I have enough with a like? No. That's just a fancy thing. It's the personal connection. Connect with your people. Get your book. The all neurosales. Neurosales are about getting your book, your contact list, and calling. Every day, breathing element, mental clarity, pray to your God, do whatever it is, connect, and make at least 9 calls. Pick 9 numbers. Out of those 9 people, I can guarantee you, if you don't close 2, and if you don't, try again the next day, and try again. But the worst that can happen is that you connect and suddenly you start getting very busy. And that is how it. But the people, the money is there in your downline. Because it's much easier to reignite the downline than to start all over again and go and get more people. And then, what about the people that buy product? The great people that buy product, but they don't do the business. Do you really think that people started the business for the sake of buying products? No, they could have gone and do something else. They could have gone and buy from white to yours. I'm sure people find other things. It's because originally the idea of making money with the business attracted them. And if they say different, it doesn't matter. It's because they want to say that. But in the subconscious mind, the idea is make money. It's not what people think. oh, money is a bad thing, and if I say that, it doesn't sound good, that this and all that. But in reality, the fact is that they want to make money. So if you help them and you put all those people in your downline buying product and you guide them, you give them new tools, and you put them to work again, you probably don't need to make any more calls by other people, and that will give you the next income. So very important to do that. Okay? How are we doing, Sebastian? So basically, that's a few tips that obviously I've not that. But I'm only saying because sales are sales. It's just a different strategy. I have created for you guys. Can you see the money tree here? Okay, that's a money tree. This is all. This is you. This is all your leaves, the branches, and everything. The people that are working, active, whatever. These are the ones which are buying only product. They give you money, but they are not active. These people have to come up here. Okay? I have created a little meditation to help you reignite that. An abundance meditation. If you are willing to do it, it only takes a few minutes. We can do it now.
Yes.
You like? Yes. So we're gonna use breathing elements.
There is one on the table. We can use that one.
All right, guys. So if you please. Okay, so you pass around with a drop, one drop like you know. No, it's only just one little drop. Good. Yeah. And don't touch your face or that because it might be itchy. So just breathe it. Very powerful. And breathe 3 or 4 times. Use it. Just one drop is enough. Just one.
We always
drop.
use it in the car.
You tell people just one tiny drop is enough for the whole day. Honestly.
I know, just here, not
Because
the
then
finger,
quite just here like that.
because it's too much.
And breathe in.
It's dangerous, the eyes here.
I'll try.
Yeah.
Put some music.
Yeah, you have to.
Sebastian, tell them what this morning because I was he was working in the computer and I was practicing I was trying to practice the presentation. So tell me what.
But not fingers, just
Palms.
Oh, okay.
So tell them.
So basically today I was working in the office and basically doing my work, and I saw like Nidya getting prepared for the presentation, just reading through, and like I was hearing about the breathing element, and I really wanted to try. Like she was selling it to me already, she wasn't even like presenting it to me. So yeah, I thought like it'd be something like great for like my mom or maybe stress. Yeah.
There you are. Sebastian's on eating.
Should I shop feel open?
So this is interesting for the boy with the kidney toes.
I wasn't trying to send on.
Okay.
You have tried this one.
Right.
Yeah, I've got that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Got
right.
some
So
sensory on the rock.
I'm gonna put a little music. Relaxing. So make yourself comfortable, please. Okay, so sit in a comfortable position. Don't cross your legs. Just be as comfortable as you can. Breathe in. Close your eyes, and I'm gonna guide you. Okay. This is called the Victoria. This is called the golden tree of Tiens abundance. Breathe in, close your eyes, and take 3 deep breaths. Inhale and exhale all the tensions of the body. And breathe in properly, profoundly, deep. And breathe out. And breathe in. Again, put your hands in your nose and breathe in. And breathe out. And allow your body to relax and your mind to enter a space of focus and inner power. Now, visualize yourself in front of you, this majestic golden tree of Tiens. A tree whose leaves are not leaves, they are shimmering golden coins glowing with opportunity. This tree is the living symbol of your Tiens network, your downline, your mission as a leader. At the roots of the tree are those clients who only buy products. They bring you income, but they are dormant. Some of them want to grow, to rise to the branches, but they need your help to do it. I want you to feel the powerful, magical energy of this living tree. Now, walk towards it with respect and admiration. This tree is you, and this network is your legacy. I want you to look at it closely. Each branch represents a leader. Each coin is a leaf, is a sale, a success. Each root is a dream that began with you. Now, look at your tree with honesty. Where do you see strong, fruitful branches? Where do you notice dry or stagnant areas that need light? Look at it. You can see the colors. You can see the bright green leaves turn into gold, and you can see the ones which are just copper. Do you want copper or do you want gold? Now, imagine you are standing directly in front of the tree, and suddenly you can hear your network speaking to you. I am motivated. I just need more structure. Others say, I'm lost. I want to believe again. Another one says, I'm here, but I need to feel your support. Someone else says, I feel blocked, and I don't know how to. Listen with your heart to everyone, and to everyone else what is there saying. And now you as their leader, speak back to them with love and clarity. Thank you for your efforts. I see you, I believe in you. Together we will rise. I am here to guide you and show you a new way to grow. Now, send them energy. This golden light flowing from your hands into the tree, and feel those branches reactivating. You can see them. You can see them alive again. The golden coins are multiplying. The energy of your tree is expanding, glowing, vibrating with new life. This is your moment. You are the guardian of this tree. the igniter of abundance, the heart center's leader who awakens others. And now, silently repeat in your mind, I am a channel of abundance. My leadership inspires, multiplies, and transforms others. I am not just selling, I am helping people and opening doors to opportunity. Together, we grow a legacy of light and success. I want you to take one last deep breath. And now see the tree again. And place a golden frame around it. Give it a name. Now that you have a painting in your hands, imagine taking that frame painting home with you. You choose a space where you can see it every day and you hang it there. I want you to feel that frequency vibrating in your body, in every single cell, because this is alive and it's real. You know that your mission has been reactivated. You know that you are creating from the now, and you know that you are ready to start again. And slowly, slowly, you give thank you to the universe, thank you to Tiens, thank you to the opportunity, and thank you to all those people that are in your downline. And slowly, slowly, when you are ready, open your eyes, come back.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's great. How did you feel?
Relax.
Very relaxing.
Did you see anything?
Yes.
Would you like to share your experience, please?
I have very good imagination. And
All
very-
right, well, please do. But
Yes, very, very easy. Somebody can put me in a hypnosis even. Yes.
okay.
So this is why when I listen to this, I completely see everything what you say. It's very interesting.
And what did
My
you
body.
and what did you see when did you see something reactivating or the leaves moving or changing or
No, I saw my tree very successfully.
that's amazing. That's great. So anyone else?
I saw the clients that I know I can convince to sell.
Very good. And you saw them and it's real.
Yeah. I'll go there first.
Very, very good. Excellent. Anyone else?
We are the tree. We are the tree, basically.
We are the tree.
Mhm.
Actually, when we closed our eyes, we can aware of the things that we need to do. So I saw the success because we are the tree. We can do.
You are the tree. And you are the trunk. And you are the leaf. Yes. Great. Anyone else? Sebastian?
Come on,
This
Sebastian.
morning, after that, he wanted to go home.
I saw the tree on the sofa.
Yes. Exactly, yes. Okay, Thank you.
Very
Michelle.
calming.
Very calming, yes. Well, I'm
Can you
very-
share the meditation with
I am
us?
happy to share the meditation
you.
with you. That's why that's one of the
Because it's
reasons.
good, because we can practice it ourselves and then
Yeah.
You can practice, and also I give you a few tips. I'm sure you all have an iPad or
Yes.
a computer, whatever. I don't know, but I don't know if you use. I am not techie. I'm learning. God knows how I'm learning all this. So.
we're in the same boat. It's all.
But you can share, you can have this, you can practice, you can follow that, you can follow this meditation, this presentation. It's factual. You can go over, you can adapt it, you can see all of this information is factual information and adapt it and get your people to a meeting, do a Zoom meeting and interact with people. You know, I was very bad at doing that before, and now I do, and people really love it. And people like that. So get that, and then give them the meditation.
At the end, yeah.
It has been created. You know, I charge a lot of money for a session like this. This meditation is a meditation